Hey everyone, this is smpratte, and we're back with another famous mail opening video. These packages just arrived today from Japan, and since they now put everything in those massive green envelopes, I went ahead and opened it all up, put it in a nice neat pile, and we're going to go through each item one by one, starting with the 1998 Please Exchange promo card. This was only given out in Japan back when Poliwhirl was a main character. The front of this card is just as interesting as the back. This is the first ever holographic back Pokemon card. Hashtag Hollowback Girl. There's maybe only a few Hollowback cards in total. This was definitely the original, and also a very, very clean, well-preserved example of a card that's now over 20 years old. Another interesting tidbit about this release, according to the Japanese collectors, apparently this was also given out during the Electric Soldier Porygon episode. So if you remember that episode we never got in the US because it gave some kids seizures over in Japan, this was apparently the get well soon consolation prize that you would receive. So I think that's just a little interesting tidbit that adds a layer to the card. Now, next up, we have one of my favorite items. This is the first thing I bought getting back into Pokemon, the Japanese Southern Island set. I absolutely love everything about Southern Island, especially the Japanese release. This was only in Japan in the 90s when I first saw it at Toys R Us back in the day. This Ladybug card was the first Gen 2 card I ever owned. I remember trading for it. I just love the art. I love how there are Pokemon in the background. That was a huge deal back in the 90s. I remember my brother also traded for the Meryl right here back when it was called Pikachu at Toys R Us. Toys R Us was like the eBay back in the day, but I just absolutely love Southern Island, especially the Japanese release. I prefer the border, the hollow pattern. I love also how the Gen 2 Pokemon have the same layout as Gen 1. I think it's the only time you see that. So there you go. That is a sealed Japanese Southern Island set. Now, next up, we have some other interesting sealed items. At first glance, you think these are just some Vending 3 sheets. Anytime you see that white card there at the top, that's going to be Vending 3. Also, let's just look at that real quick. The back of this is just as exciting as the front. That's like the theme of this video so far. And speaking of, when you turn these over, you see Bill right here smirking at you. Anytime you see Bill on the back of these sheets, you are looking at the rarer or more coveted version of Vending 3. So Vending 3 was the final release of the Vending series, and anytime Bill is on here, this is the release where you could get the Bill Pass card. So this is a little overview on the Masaki release. You had to send in the Bill Pass card with the previous evolved form, which I think that's a base set Machoke there. So in order to get Machamp, Golem, Gengar, Alakazam, or Omastar, you had to have that exact Bill Pass card with the previous evolved form Pokemon, send it on into Pokemon, and then they give you back the coveted Masaki promo. So that Bill Pass card will be up here at the top of a certain sheet, certain numbered sheet. However, for the standard Vending 3, that Bill PC or Bill Pass card was later changed into the Imakuni card. If it wasn't quaint enough for you already, Pokemon added that layer. So these are just nice and actually really clean examples as well of that Vending 3 Bill PC or rarer version of that Vending 3 sheet. Next up, we have another sealed vending item. Again, at first glance, you probably think this is going to be a Vending 1 sheet, but when you see that Chunky Pikachu, Mewtwo, and Mew at the top, you're looking at the WHF special release, otherwise known as the 00 release. WHF is like some, sounds like wrestling, like NWO. And this is going to be Mewtwo, Mew, and Pikachu in these 3 slots. Also, this is a very exceptionally clean example. One thing to mention for a lot of these vending or any type of release like this from back in the day, there's a lot of exposure here on the card. So even if it's well aligned, you don't see any whitening. Sometimes in the light, you can catch like indents or scratches. And this one, honestly, is one of the best that I've ever seen. You know, the best that I've honestly held over the years. So there you go. A very clean example of the WHF sealed vending sheet. Now, next up, we're going to keep the vending theme rolling. You could tell right away this is going to be a Vending 3 card, as we learned earlier. You can only get this card with this back from Vending 3, and it is a 1998 or 99 Uyama's Pikachu. I think I'm probably speaking for a lot of collectors my age. This is one of those OG cards we saw back in the day, and it's hand-drawn from top to bottom. I'm talking the border itself is hand-drawn, the name of the Pokemon, the HP, Pikachu, the Weedle in the background, the smiling Teletubby's son, like everything all the way down to Uyama is hand drawn. Also, this one looks pretty clean as well. It's kind of tough to see there. I mean, they give you a nice little like hipster bohemian picture frame for the card. This is a great example of how Japan can package their items, but there it is. That is the Uyama's Pikachu. Really needs no introduction. One of the most iconic cards. Now we're going to change gears. We're going to keep the hand-drawn theme going here. I'm not talking about the nice Komiya sleeve, but this is the Pikachu DX. This is a new back card. So this is one that I really like. We're going to 4K this real quick. So if you haven't seen this card before, it's a newer promo. Go ahead and show you the bottom there. Number 36 from the 36 SP promo card. Nice hand-drawn design. Very detailed art. You got Bulbasaur, Pikachu. I think anytime they have that little bandana, it's that whole DX theme era, whatever you want to call it. But I really like this art. To me, it's very striking. Now, it's not as crazy hand-drawn as the OG Uyama, but it does give me a nice vibe of that early era. It's a nice mixture of the two. I think it's a nice mixture of both worlds. So there it is. That is the Pikachu DX card. Now, next up, we have a big stack. Speaking of new cards, we have a big stack of one of the newest cards released. So this is the Nagaba Pikachu. I really like this release. I think it's unique. I think it's something different. I like to see Pokemon do new things. And so this is a collaboration that they did. These were awarded at the Pokemon Center. I believe if you made a purchase of 1,500 yen, which comes out to about $15 each, you receive one of these for free. So that's why you see a big stack of them, because it's something that is very affordable, very accessible. Also, one of my non-Pokemon friends looked at this recently and they thought it looked really cool. I know some people think it's a little derpy. Maybe Pikachu has a unibrow there, but overall, I do think it's a pretty cool new promo. And again, very affordable for pretty much everyone at this point. Now, next up, we have another great example of how Japan packages its cards. I don't think I made a magic purchase here. I don't think this is a magic purchase, at least. So we have some magic cards. I guess we can look at them. No idea what's going on here, but this is what I bought. These are just a couple cards I think kind of fly under the radar, mainly because they're not your standard TCG cards, but I just love this art. Let me pull up the Uyama's Pikachu real quick to do a little comparison. I love when you see that just throwback. And what's really cool about this, you won't be able to unsee it. So on the right here, you have the Pocket Monsters logo with the Sugimori Pokemon. And on this one, you have the Pocket Monsters logo with the Arita Pokemon. And some of them are the same, like the Squirtle, Pikachu, Charmander. See how they're the same there? Yeah, we're going that deep. You got Clefairy and Bulbasaur lining up as well. So yeah, I just really like that. It's one of those things that, to me, it's peak nostalgia. And this also is the Pikachu design you'll see on the Trophy Pikas. Anytime he has the chunk, but somehow the longer legs, that's the original design. So there you go. Those are just some of the original 90s purchases that I'm constantly making all the time. Now, next up, we have a card that I talked about recently in a video. Let's actually attach some cardboard. There we go. Got it safely removed. So this is the 2001 Fan Club special card. If you watch that video, I put up I think it was about a month-ish ago now. I talked about the Fan Club cards. This is one of these special postcards you would receive. So let's look at, this is a standard trading card right here. This is even a newer standard trading card. You can just see the size difference here. I believe it's a 6x4, the measurements, but this was Japanese exclusive. We're going to 4K the art just to show you. Looking at the Ho-Oh fireworks, we got Snorlax, Hoppip just chilling, Squirtle, Chikorita, Vulpix. This was the 2001 summer. You also see that Fan Club, just everything going on. And the back as well, you have the Dr. Sanjay signature. And then this, I believe it was an additional 10 points. I remember talking in that video how it was a rumor back in the day that you had to trade it in, but it actually was just an additional 10 points. And I believe that's pretty much everything. The only other things I have here are a couple extras of some of the cards we looked at. Typically what I like to do is buy multiple of the same thing. And here's just a couple more of the please trade mint examples of this card. In my opinion, I think when you could find something at the price I did, it's always a win. Oh, we have one more here. Sorry, we have, last but not least, this Scraggler here. Forgot to open this. Sealed one. We're doing it fresh, which is going to be even more of the Bill PC, it looks like. So this looks like it's going to be a little bit more of what we just saw, sticking to the theme. And this is a great example of how Japan packages everything. We got a Ziploc bag. We got a little note here that tells you the auction ID. We got a little Trapper Keeper to open this up. But inside everything, it's going to be more of the vending bill PC cards. One other thing I can add here, if you've stuck around, is that they are all numbered. So you see that right there, number 10, and that says number 11 right next to Tentacool, and then number 12. So each one is going to get you a different... Oh, these actually, not all of these are complete. So these still have the cards. I wonder if this is the one with the Bill PC, but nonetheless, if you go to Bulbapedia, you can look up each number and it'll tell you what is going to be in each sheet. So there's a little pro tip for you, for anyone who are new to the whole vending series. So there you go. That is my haul from this, I guess, couple weeks. And I'll try to pepper these in. I know people like to see these casual openings where I go through and just show you some of the stuff I'm purchasing. It's always just fun to look at cards. So there it is, guys. You know the deal. Let me know how I feel, and that's pretty much it. Till next time.